Stephen Kwarteng Yeboah. I'm the president for Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana. So when you come to the insurance industry, we have brokers who are intermediaries. So we are consultants, independent consultants who represent people who are insurance, help you, advise you to choose the best insurance cover to be placed, and that's of you who you want to work with, the insurance company you want to work with. And importantly, is the broker's responsibility. So we have more than 100 brokers in the market, and our association is the Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana. I'm also the managing director for Olea M&G. Olea M&G is Ghana's first insurance broking company. We were established way back in 1969, and I've been working here for the past over 20 years. I'm currently the managing director of Olea M&G Insurance Brokers Limited. Well, so the insurance sector is one of the, I would say, a key important player as far as Ghana's economy is concerned. So talking about digital economy, digitalization is taking a big shape in the financial service industry. Financial service industry, typically you are talking about insurance companies, you're talking about banks, you're talking about other non-bank financial institutions, those regulated by SEC and the rest. So service is on the rise, and where people want to transact services, they are looking at going into the digital space. So that is how important the digital economy is to us, because we are in the service industry, and this is where digitalization is taking place, and digitalization is shaping what we do. So that's how important we value the digital economy as far as insurance is concerned. It's a good question. It's one of the things that sometimes we all ponder about, but the truth is that it's not a matter of Ghanaians will trust or will not trust. We all travel outside the country, and when you move outside the country, digital economy is not a choice. It's not something you decide whether you want to transact there or not. The system compels you to be able to transact digitally. So as our country gradually begins to move, I'm very sure, and I'm predicting that in the next few years ahead of us, you may not find notes in the hands of people. And the people that are being born now, we call them Gen Zs. They are not interested in walking to offices to transact business. So it's not a matter of whether Ghanaians will even trust it or not. It's something that has come to stay, and it's going to be the way that we decide how we live our lives. And therefore, the trust will be there, because the whole economy will revolve around that. People will want to click their phone and have everything done, rather than walk to the offices. So it's come up on us, and I'm sure Ghanaians, once we get there, will trust us, and they will also comply with that line.
The dungeons, the Black Jesus, the great artifacts, the slavery, our proud forebears, the pain,
Yasanti Visit Bisang where it is told.
It has. If you are not on the digital space now, I believe that there are some segment of the market you are not going to win. You've heard about a lot of life insurance products being sold. Some of them are using USSD, some of them are using apps and all kinds of comparative platforms to be able to sell these products. So what is happening is that if you are not digitizing your processes, you are going to be left behind. So I'm sure very soon, nobody will walk to any office to say, I'm coming to insure my car. People will go online and buy policies. People go online and they buy travel policies. And it's informing the way we also do our processes. We are changing our processes. We are digitizing our processes. And we are investing more and more and finding better ways of digitizing what we do. So it has an implication on us, and it has really affected the way we do. And you can see that virtually every conference that we meet and we talk, we are talking about it. That insurance will be in business because the whole economy is moving towards that, and you don't have a choice. You just have to invest and also move towards that. Otherwise, you will be behind. You will be left behind. Companies that are not going to digitize, they will be. We were within our group. We were just having a discussion on how we are trying to solve some of the petty issues that we have with artificial intelligence. We need to summarize policies for clients. Sometimes you will sit hours to read those policies and summarize them for the client. AI will just do it, and it goes. A lot of transactions, chatbots and other data. AI is now making them so easy, So you're transacting some financial transactions. Somebody there who's reading your charts and translating what you're looking for and providing you solutions real time. So that's what is happening. Our world is being revolutionized through artificial intelligence, and I think that seeing it as a disadvantage is an advantage for us to be able to be quicker and to do more than what we are doing at the moment. Yeah, so to start with, I will tell you that nearly every insurance product can be sold on a platform. Just that some policies are so technical that even when you initiate the transaction on the digital platform, you will need to complete it with some human interface. So some of the big, large corporate risk, I do not see mining risk being sold online because it's so technical. I do not see oil and gas risk being sold online. But basically, the retail side, I mean, you go to Europe, you go to other parts, nobody walks to them. Nobody walks to an office to buy a retail product. You will not find an insurance office anywhere on the street or somewhere where people walk to and say, I'm going to buy my car insurance. These are bought online because these are retail products. Some life policies. One of the reasons why we are having difficulty with penetration in Ghana, insurance penetration, we are talking about the percent to Ghana's GDP, which is always below 2%. Is that we have a highly informal, nearly 77% of the work in the informal sector. They are generating 77% of what we put. Only 30% is in the formal sector. Those of us with suit and tie. The economy is not actually being driven up by those of us in suit and tie. It's being petty traders, people on the streets, people in their homes, small scale, and all those who have an economy. And that's where the numbers are. And to be able to reach out to physically is, so they are the areas where you've seen us deploy technology, work in partner telcos, for people to be able to use their smartphone to be buying policies and be paying daily, using their mobile money account and all of them. So I would say retail policies, the life policies, the funeral policies, charities, automobile, vehicle insurance, these are are being bought. I developed a price comparative platform, my best, where people can actually go log in, put in their vehicle details, get a quote, and can finish the entire process and buy a pint. So these are the areas where I think that digitization will move. For the high commercial areas, even now in advanced countries like US and UK, you will still find us brokers and insurers sitting together, discussing the risk before we come out with what is the appropriate price to charge. But in that process, digitization also takes place.
Well, with these results, you can do medicine, law, everything.
But uncle, are you sure?
I am the Ministry of Education in this house.
You, Ministry of what education? My daughter, do nursing. It's your best chance with this result.
No, go business.
Oh, please, what do you know? Can you even read?
Go become YouTuber like me.
Use Admissions Checker. Admissions Checker?
Yes, Admissions Checker. First University Admissions Hub. Just sign up at admissionschecker.com. Enter your WASSCE or NOVDEC results. Choose your dream universities and programs and instantly find out exactly where you have the best chances of admission.
Wow, what if I want scholarship abroad?
Simple. Tap scholarships and find opportunities too.
Can it also find husband abroad?
Admissions, there is a university and a course for everyone.
Well, they are already there. I would say that I tell you that in the life insurance space, nearly 80% of the policies are solved with some form of digitization. It's not fully automated. When I say some form, the agents that go now, they go with apps and they generate the policies, and the people get OTPs. They do the online and do everything, and some of them can actually file policies on online too. So we are already there, and thank God we have. Smartphone is a game changer. And you go to the village, sometimes I put something on my status and my mom will call me and tell me that, hey, I was watching your status. They are there on that space. So once we're able to make it for them, and we put something on the smartphone with an easy app for them to be able to subscribe to, that should be able to reach out to them. Now, so I won't see our role. The thing is that whatever we are doing as intermediaries, brokers now, can actually be translated into the digital space. So if you go to US, you go to UK and all those ones, most of the digital platforms are actually broker-led. So the brokers actually build the platforms. They go and look for an insurance company to provide the products. They do the selling. The transaction terminates via the broker, and then the broker gets his commission, the insurer gets his risk premium, and everything is done. And when the client needs help, they still go through the broker. So for me, it will only become a distortion to a broker that move into that space. But once you are in that space, whatever you're doing physically, there is an IT solution or solution that will enable you to replicate the same thing digitally and even do it better. So I look at it from this point of view that is going to help us to reach out to the retail where we are not there. Most of us are focused on corporate line business, but digitization can help us to be able to reach out to the informal sector. And that's what I see things, rather than looking at it in the negative way that is away from us. So let me first of all correct that notion. We've moved away from that for so many, I would say, years ago. Of course, there may be one or two people out there who still don't trust us. They will not trust you because of sometimes some of the things they hear, the wrong perceptions, and some of the wrong information that sometimes goes out there. Now, as an insurance practitioner, I've met people. There was a gentleman I met one time was telling me, "Oh, I bought insurance, and insurance people are not paying me." And so I asked him to send me a copy of his policy, only to know that he actually did a mutual fund, and they call all of us insurance. So he placed his funds with a mutual fund, which is a SEC-regulated entity, and he's talking about insurance. And sometimes people hear and they say all kinds of things. Somebody has a vehicle, he doesn't have a qualified driver. He picks somebody who's not qualified, he drives a vehicle, he's involved in an accident, and he goes to the insurance company, say, "I'm not paying because you didn't have a qualified driver." Oh, that mistrust comes there. So generally, a lot more people are trusting us. They are getting the feel of what it is to pay, to have a claim and have an insurance company come to your aid. People are getting claims. Last month, even in my office, we paid a claim of about 3 million Ghana cedis to a client whose staff had critical illness. He had kidney, and he could not believe that the company could buy a life policy for them, and an insurance company in Ghana paid 3 million Ghana cedis to him. So what I would say is that digitization is going to help us to improve on the delivery side, because you can digitize the claim processes where the client is able to file the claim digitally. He doesn't need to travel and do other things there. Nowadays, you would notice that most of the life companies have been asked to take the Ghana card of the insured and the person that they insure. So if you buy a funeral policy and you're insuring it to cover your mom, at the initiation stage, they will ask you, "Can I get a Ghana card of your mom?" Because sometimes even verifying the date of birth of the person the deceased person becomes a problem. But now they have a digital solution. They're able to put this data. The moment you file the claim, they query the claim, they see the details of the insured, they see the details of the mother, and within a day or two, they can pay. So for me, digitization is going to help to improve on the trust that we have, because clients are going to be happier, because there will be a quicker turnaround time as far as claim is concerned.
Are you ready to explore Ghana? A land of rich heritage. A land alive with culture. A land of unforgettable adventures. From breathtaking landscapes to wildlife. Festivals and nightlife that never sleeps. But planning the perfect trip can feel overwhelming. Now, everything you need is in one place. With Ghana Tourism Marketplace, you can book hotels, discover tours, rent cars, connect with expert guides, and explore destinations across the country. You can also get tickets for amazing experiences like Movie in the Park at Platinum Bay Hotel, Uncle Ebo White Theatre shows, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park visits, and more. So go ahead, plan your journey and experience Ghana your way. Ghana Tourism Marketplace is brought to you by Ghana Tourism Development Company, your official gateway to discovering Ghana.
Well, so what I was saying is that sometimes people think that anytime they are paying any pieces of money to any financial institution is insurance. So for example, you have mutual funds. I don't want to mention any company's name, but there are some companies that take, investments. You deposit money as an investment, and over a period of time, you can go for your money. So during the domestic debt exchange, some of them had difficulties in honoring their obligations. And then somebody will call you and say, "We have a claim with this company or that company is not able to pay, it's an insurance company." And then you go there and you see that it's totally different from that. So that's one of them. So they are different from the insurance company. They are not the insurance company. Insurance companies are those licensed by the National Insurance Commission. We sell it at a retail life policy, or we also have an investment-based policy, like you can buy a pension policy if you're in the informal sector, instead of, you don't have SNH. So even if you have SNH, it's always not adequate. So you can actually, while you're working, be putting these small monies with a life insurance company. I do. And then when you go on retirement, that money will be there for you. So they confuse those type of investment with SEC-regulated mutual funds. And sometimes they will come and tell you, my insurance company is not paying me. So that's one of the reasons. And another reason why sometimes people claim we don't pay them is that people buy policies they don't read. They didn't buy the policy from a broker. They don't read what they have bought. So he goes to buy a funeral policy. A funeral policy is typically a risk-based policy. What that means is that you are saying that I'm buying a policy, I'm paying you 200 Ghana cedis a month, but if my mom or my dad passes away, give me 100,000 Ghana cedis for the funeral of my dad. That's a risk-based policy. If you continue to pay even for 10 years and your dad has not passed away, there's nothing to get back, because it's every month. It's like you are giving me 200 and I promise you 100,000. And then after 2 years, you come back and say, oh, I don't want to do it that way. Can I have my money? The insurance company tells you, no, there's no money for you to have because it's a risk you insured. Then they say, hey, they are thieves. They took my money for 2 years and I'm going for my money. So you understand, if you don't want a risk-based policy, and you want the insurance company to invest, then you buy an investment policy. So those are some of the things that we have to deal with. We are not alone. Everywhere in the world, sometimes when people don't understand things, they misinterpret them this way. Well, I would say that both NIC is doing a lot. They are working with us, the trade associations. NIC has been working with GIA, which is the Ghana Insurance Association, and then IBAC, Insurance Brokers Association. They've been working with the institute, the Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana, and then the Ghana Insurance University College. I would say that the industry has been working. We've been having a lot of discussion. One of the fundamental things NIC has done is that they've set up the sandbox scheme. The sandbox is more or less like a reduced form of regulation to be able to attract insurtechs and digital companies that are providing digital solutions, not to come and apply for full regulatory license, but to come under the sandbox to be able to get a license, to be able to support insurance companies to provide digital solutions. So NIC is already doing that, and they keep encouraging insurance companies to invest in technology, training, all kinds of things. So already I think that we have looked at it and we have a solution in our regulation, in the law, to be able to support the drive of digitization. We've had a lot of conferences. We've had a lot of digital conferences. Almost every year they hold a conference on digitization where we bring digital solution companies, tech companies to meet with insurance companies to tell them what solutions they have and how they can help the insurance industry to be able to digitize more. So I can say that a lot has already been done, and we keep working hard to ensure that we do more. Well, so it's unfortunate, but the question I will ask is that if you're unemployed and you don't have the money, would you open a bank account? You wouldn't open a bank account because you open a bank account to be able to put in money. Or insurance, the whole principle of insurance is that you are carrying some risk. And that risk, you don't want to bear that risk alone, because you alone, you cannot bear that risk. So you join a pool of people who will all say, we will contribute small amount of money. That is what we call premium. And it's the premium that we put together so that when one person suffers, we use that premium to be able to help the other one. So you have a car, I have a car. The cost of my car is about, say, 200,000 Ghana cedis. The cost of your car is 500,000 Ghana cedis. If your vehicle is stolen or it gets bent, the cost for you to be able to get another 500,000 Ghana cedis will be very high. So we all come together and we say, okay, we pick somebody we call insurance companies to say, can we agree that I pay every year, I'll put only 1,000 cedis. She will put only 5,000 cedis. Another person will put 3,000 cedis, depending on the values of our cars. And then when something happens, the money that all of us have gathered, all of us, our cars will never be stolen at the same time. But then when your car is stolen, we will give you 500,000, even though you're giving me 5,000 cedis. That's the principle of insurance. So if you are unemployed, it's very unfortunate. Maybe sometimes we have sales agents, we train them, we do other things. You don't hang up on somebody just because he said he's unemployed, because people may be unemployed, but they can pay their premium. What's important is that you have consistent flow of money to be able to pay your premiums. And that's one of the things, because the point is that you can never have free insurance. Insurance must be paid for. So if you are unemployed, and we pray that you get employed so that you will have money to be able to pay. But if you have a friend or somebody who can help you to pay the premium, unemployment is not a barrier for you to buy insurance. What's important is that you have the means to be able to raise the premium to be able to pay. Well, so I'll say that, so marine cargo, compulsory marine cargo has been in our books since the 2006 law. And I would say that generally that's what pertains in most countries. In every country, when you are importing goods to those countries, that country expects that you buy insurance from that particular country, because that's where the liability resides. So the person importing is the owner of the consignment. Even if it's not paid for it, he's still the owner of the consignment. So what the law requires is that if you're a Ghanaian and you're bringing in goods, apart from those that are household goods, if it's a commercial goods, buy insurance in Ghana here, so that when you get a claim, it will be settled here. So I said it's a double win for the economy. Double win for the economy because I looked at, especially the businessman, the Ghanaian businessman, some of them are dealing with suppliers they have not even physically seen before. They are reliable suppliers. But the difficulty is that if you have some goods coming from, say, China or from India or Pakistan or any other country, and it's coming to Ghana here, you will only know when the goods are damaged when they reach this port, our port. So you open the container and the goods are damaged. Damaged because there was some accident or turbulence on the sea. Now, there are two ways you can recover this money from your supplier. One of them is for you to send him, if it's partially damaged, to send him these consignments back to return for him to replace them for you. Or for him to send an insurance company or his loss adjuster if they buy the insurance. Sometimes some of them will take the money and say, we are shipping to you CIF, cost, insurance, and freight. But they never even buy your supplier will never even buy any insurance in that country. So what happens is that you are the peril of that supplier. And that Ghanaian businessman who has your consignment damaged, you will suffer delays in getting replacement. The replacement may never even come from the supplier. There will be arguments here and there. So what, in the minds of Parliament, when Parliament passed that law, was that why don't we have a law that will protect Ghanaian businessmen? That whenever he's bringing some consignment to Ghana, he has some minimum level of insurance that will cover him, so that when the goods come to Ghana and the goods are damaged, the local insurance company will provide compensation to him. Then he can go and reorder the goods for the thing to come without having to have any argument as to, because remember that it is only when that foreign supplier is liable for the damage that he will come in and say, I'm going to replace them. If he's not liable for the supply, then there will be argument between you and the shipping line and blah, blah, blah. So it's a very complex thing. So that's the first advantage that we get. What we do is that the marine cargo insurance will help to sustain the Ghanaian local businessman in business. The second one is that we transfer a lot of dollars from Ghana to those suppliers that we buy the goods from. Every government would want to stabilize the dollar, the cedi, against the foreign currencies. So if you are supplier A, you are buying the goods at cost, at insurance and freight. All of them, you are transferring the dollar to a foreign company. And I am a second supplier, I am only transferring the cost and the freight, because the freight you cannot pay from here. So I am paying the insurance to a Ghanaian insurance company, but the cost and freight I'm paying to the foreigner to be able to supply me. So you see the two scenarios. What happens is that while the supplier A may pay, say, $5, supplier B will pay only $4. So supplier B will only demand $4 for my economy, and it's going to help to stabilize the cedi, which will be to the advantage of the local, what do you call it, businessman. So in a nutshell, the truth is that they are already paying some money in the name of insurance, which sometimes that foreign shipper may never do. And when you buy that policy, that insurance from offshore to the local, what do you call it, our laws do not accept that as insurance. So customs or GRA will disallow that, and they will have their own estimate of what insurance value is supposed to be, and they will charge you for that. Then at the end of the day, when the goods are damaged, you don't get compensation. So the reason why I describe it as a double gain for the economy is that we are going to protect Ghanaian businessmen by ensuring that they have their goods insured. And then it will also reduce the demand on the dollar. And at the end of the day, Ghana stands to win. And our businessmen also stand to win. So I've already explained to you that it's under no way, we keep engaging them, and whenever we engage them, we explain to them. It's rather going to reduce their cost of doing business, because this is not an additional charge. It's an insurance you're already buying outside, and government is telling you, don't buy the insurance outside. Don't change dollars to go and buy it outside. Buy it from a local Ghanaian company, where you and I have uncles who are shipping, our daughters are here in this country, our cousins and nephew. Every day, the number of people who will call you and say, I have my son who has finished university, he's looking for a job, he's looking for this. So how do we build the capacity of the local insurance companies to recruit our own daughters, our own sons, when we are in the habit of always changing our cedi to dollar and going to buy insurance through a foreign shipper, an insurance that you may never even benefit, because when the goods come and they are damaged, they will not come down here to come and adjust for you. So it has no impact on the cost of doing business. And I will tell you, I don't want to even say that government is spending a lot. They are taking a lot of pain to reduce even the income government will make. If you are bringing from us, our government can make more. But government is actually saying that irrespective of we losing, we are looking at the bigger picture. We want to help our businessmen. We want to help the insurance industry. We want to help our cedi. So we are ready to let the duty come down at the expense of, ensuring that people buy the insurance from here. So government is actually losing revenue. So the businessman is not going to pay more. If you sit down, you do the calculation, you know that this is something beneficial to you. Not because I'm an insurer, but because I know, as a chartered accountant too, when I do the calculations, I know that it's in the favor of the businessman. Well, I'll tell you that a lot more people, as IBAC, what we are doing is that one of our primary goals is to ensure that you dream your businesses, and then we will be there to provide cover for you. So we are not insurance companies, we are brokers. As brokers, we are on the side of the client. I'm not saying insurers are not on the side of the client, because they also have direct client. But what I mean is that we work independently from the insurance companies. So what we take on is that we are able to work with people who are there and who want to be entrepreneurs. So if you just have a dream, just dream. Forget about the risk that your businesses are exposed to. There are some of the risks, especially your hazard risk and some other personnel risk, we are there to be able to walk you through from day one. It doesn't matter how small your business size is, because we are brokers we are doing only SMEs, individuals. So we are there to be able to protect you. So just give a call to any broker that you know when you want to enter into business, and we will guide you on the risk side. Of course, we are also, we've trained a lot of entrepreneurs, and I've brought up a number of brokers. There are people who used to work in insurance companies who have the mindset of setting up their own broking firm. Some of them have acquired licenses. They've joined us. When they come, we work with them, we support them in their business, and we ensure that they survive. So these are the two ways that I can say we are doing to be able to help young people who want to go into entrepreneurship. Don't fear. We will be there to help you, guide you through the risk process, to give you the advice. And our services are free. We don't charge you. So it's a way of starting your business. Your better way is to go through a broker. The broker will not charge you, but you get all the benefits of giving you the professional risk advice that you need to be able to advance your business.